We'll just I'll ask the first question, Jack. You ask the second one, then I'll ask the third. Then it balance. Hi, Chris. How's it going? You good?
Going all right. Yeah. How are you guys?
Not too bad at all. We're just going to ask you a few questions about positive stories for negative times. And your play, Hold Out Your Hand. And our first question is, what's the play about?
I wanted it to be about the experience of having to go through the last few months, and something that would make people think about what it had been like for them. So it's about the experience, because I'm really interested in how we think about what we're going through as much as what we're going through. And obviously I don't know what any of the people who will be reading or will be doing the play have gone through. I don't know whether that's been difficult or easy, whether some of it has felt like incredibly unpleasant, or whether some bits of it have been like really more enjoyable than normal life. You know, there's a huge range. But what I do know is that everyone will be able to think about what that experience was. So it's not about telling them about my experience of it, because they've all got their own. It's about telling the story of someone thinking about going through what we've all been through and are still going through, and providing enough space in that for people to bring their own experiences to it and to talk about what they've been thinking about, and crucially how they've been thinking about it.
Amazing. Thank you, Chris. I think you've maybe kind of answered our next question, which is why did you write the play? But I suppose I'll add on to that, sort of specifically, why did you write this play for young people?
I wrote the play, for reasons to do with providing a space for people to reflect on and to tell other people how they've been doing and how they've been thinking. But I think I specifically wrote it for young people because that's a really interesting perspective to have. You know, when you're at the stage of life where, you know, things like the last few months form a larger percentage of your time on the planet so far than they do of mine, I think that's a really useful perspective to hear from, because you know, it's easy to generalize and say, well, young people are less cynical, or young people are kind of on fire to change the world, or young people very rarely get given the space to express themselves kind of honestly. And I think to a certain extent all those are true, but to a certain extent all those are not true as well. And actually one of the things that does rarely get given to young people by plays is the opportunity to say, look, what I've written here is a framework and you can make it yours. I'm not trying to tell a story where everything goes from A to B to C and what you have to do is follow the story that I have given you. I'm not trying to think about what it might have been like for you and put myself in the mind of a young person and kind of speak with the voice of a young person and hope that you connect with that and then you can do some acting. But what I'm doing is acknowledging that there needs to be space for you to take control of those moments that would normally be filled up with a story or something like that, or acting, and actually just give them to you. And what I'm writing is the framework, so you can put whatever you want in it. You know, I'm giving you a, you know, I'm giving you a, I was going to say a picture with some of the bits filled in, but I think it's even more than it's even sort of more sketchy than that. But I've thought about it and I've put it together in a way that I think will work, so you will be safe putting yourself into this. It isn't going to collapse under you, you know. So yeah. And I know there's a lot of theatre work that's made with young people that that is all about sort of making those voices heard and allowing them the agency and the power to make their own stuff. But I think from the perspective of a writer, it's rarer to do that. So I've tried to do that, to give write the framework, not the content.
And it's super interesting that we've already seen young people start filling those gaps, and it makes the play so different depending on who does it as well. And it's like, it's really, really exciting, actually.
That's really great. And I also want, it's in the note at the start of the play, actually. I also wanted them to not feel that they had to fill the gaps with what people might expect sort of younger performers and artists to put in it. It's like that it works just as well if you fill it with good stuff as difficult stuff. Like, there's no expectation, I think, that it works better if you make it darker or anything like that. And it's really great to hear that there's a variety of experiences going in there, because the only thing it really requires is you to not be the cliche of like what people think you are as a group, but just be honest about what's going on for you right now. And if you're honest, you don't, it's not, you don't have to be anything but honest. It's not a play that asks you to put yourself through the mill or relive the darkest times in your life. And, if you are safe doing that, and that is a direction you want to go, and it doesn't stop you doing that either. But I think it's really important that it provides the option for honesty, and it doesn't have any expectations of the kind of honesty, the kind of material that you want to put into it.
Brilliant. And the final question we just wanted to ask you was, who is the play for as well?
That's a really great. It's kind of one of those questions that every time you get asked it about something feels simple, and then like you think about it for 2 more seconds and your head explodes. But I think the clearest answer I can give is it's not. I'll tell you what it's not for. It's not so that a group of young people can perform to an older audience than them and like give that older audience hope or say that they've solved all the world's problems. So it's not putting that expectation on either the people doing it or the people who are watching it being done, either remotely or hopefully eventually in a room with them. But both of those options hopefully will work. It's for anyone who turns up. It's for anyone who's willing to put the effort in and meet the play and be honest in their making of it. And it's about, and it's always about this for me, what happens in that moment of performance, whether it's online or whether it's in the room. It's about anyone who wants to turn up and look at this thing that is in the room with us and wonder about how it relates to their own lives. And if the groups who do this play do it honestly and generously and forgive my, the times when I've probably, made assumptions or, asked them to do things that maybe they feel like they want to do it a different way, and they're understanding of me and also feel like they have the power to kind of do their version of it and contradict me, then it'll be for everyone who's in the room, and hopefully everyone will go away with at least, in a small way, a new perspective on, what we're all living through.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much as well for your time. That was absolutely brilliant. And I suppose I'll just put out into this space, if anyone's interested in buying the playtext, they can get it over on the Methuen store or on www.wonderfools.org/store. Thank you very much.